Welcome to another episode, everyone. Vlad TV is accused of backdooring Crip Mac. Oh, he's under fire on the internet. Accused of backdooring Crip Mac when Crip Mac came to do the interview with him not long ago. Says that 600 from Rolling 60s Crip pulled up to do security for Vlad. And Crip Mac had no idea. They're saying that Whack 100 actually set up the whole play. Man, check this out.
Well, Crip Mac.
Yeah, I see you interviewed. That was different.
Yes,
That was different.
Now, let's talk about a situation that happened before the interview started.
Okay,
so Crip Mac's people reached out to me. What was the girl's name?
Lupe,
right. Lupe reached out to me, said Crip Mac wants to do an interview. We set a date. It was all set up. I hit up my assistant. I said, hey, just confirming my security for today. And she had dropped the ball and forgot to book security for me. So earlier that day, I hit you and I said, hey, do you have a security I could use for today? And you sent me Christopher Lovejoy.
Very professional guy.
Yes, professional guy. I have never talked to him before.
Christopher Lovejoy. That's 600 from 60s Crip. The individual who has been getting into it with Crip Mac. You know, they were business partners at one point or something. They were friends or whatever. Had some sort of falling out. And Crip Mac has accused Christopher Lovejoy, 600, of scamming him out of some sort of money or what have you. They have a beef going on here on the internet, at least. These two individuals no longer get along and are no longer friends. So Vlad says, because again, he's been accused, of setting this whole thing up, as we've heard, of bringing 600 there, backdooring Crip Mac, knowing that these two individuals do not get along, that they have whatever beef, and you brought them there to do security for you, setting Crip Mac up. And Crip Mac apparently is there without his backup or any of his homeboys or whatever. So Vlad is saying, wants to clear the air here. This is why he has Whack on here apparently, to clarify exactly what happened with 600 coming to Vlad TV while Crip Mac was there. His clarification is that it was not a backdoor, that his assistant was supposed to get security there, did not. So he called Whack 100, as we just heard, and said, I need security. Impromptu, I need security. And Whack said, I got somebody. You need security for what? Who's going to be there? Oh, Crip Mac? I got somebody for you for security. Christopher Lovejoy, 600. And Whack can't stop smiling. Look on his face right now. Look. What is this nasty work?
I heard his name before. I had no idea who he was. He showed up, seemed professional, everything cool. Crip Mac and Lupe show up, and I hear some ruckus by the door.
Probably more Lupe than anything.
Lupe, right. Crip Mac wasn't saying anything. He was walking back to the car, and Lupe is like, yo, what's he doing here? We don't fuck with this dude. He's a scammer. He ripped us off. He did this, he did that.
Crazy. You know what's crazy about that? She's saying the we. See, before it was a Lupe, it was a Christopher Lovejoy, right? And it's crazy because when people get their buzz, right, then they want to claim it. I guarantee you that Christopher Lovejoy and Crip Mac left with a smile.
Right, let me finish the story, right? So all this is happening, Crip Mac walks back to his car and jumps in the car, along with Lupe. So I had to walk over there and I was like, what's going on right now? Like, we don't fuck with this dude. Why'd you book this guy? I'm like, I have no idea what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Really, I don't.
Yeah.
Because it's being painted by certain people on the internet that I'm setting up this gang member with his ops and I backdoored him or something. I'm like, I have no idea what's happening here.
That's how Christopher Lovejoy is licensed security.
Yes.
I use him all the time.
And this is how I even came across him.
He's very professional. You called me, said, Wack, you got somebody that can be here within an hour. It was like some last minute notice.
Yeah.
I called a couple dudes. He said, I'm about 30 minutes out. I can get there a little early. cool, right? I know he's professional.
Yeah.
You're a great judgment of character, Vlad.
No, he was
Right.
great. He was great. I've used him again since then.
And guess what? Even in that situation, you probably watched him diffuse it.
Right. He was like, Crip Mac, like, what did I take from you? Like, I don't understand what you're saying right now. Like, what? Because it was really mostly Lupe that was upset.
It's just what I'm trying to tell you,
that
bro.
was mostly Lupe. So I'm like, look, like, if it makes y'all feel better, he don't have to be in the room. Like, I can leave him outside.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's happening right now. I'm just trying to save the interview.
And guess what? If Crip Mac was really tripping, then he wouldn't have been as calm. But
it was really her. He was
why?
totally like Crip Mac wasn't even saying much.
You know why? He's a threat. Why? Because.
So you need security in the room. You're hiring security in the room while you do interviews. You need security there for Crip Mac. You're about to interview Crip Mac, and he said to Crip Mac, if you don't want Christopher Lovejoy in the room, he doesn't have to be here. So he's going to be inside of the room while you are there interviewing. So you think Crip Mac is a threat, or your other guests who you have on the show? And they saying Christopher Lovejoy. And he's saying, I don't know why you're upset. What did I take from you? And this and that? Because as I said, Crip Mac has been accusing him of scamming him out of some money. And this is the individual that ends up there, Crip Mac going there to do an interview, and he gets blindsided. But this YouTube, this content stuff is bananas, man.
He was once management.
Okay.
So she's thinking in her head, she ain't looking at him, he's just security. Them dudes ain't got no problems, want to do nothing. They from the same tribe, right? And Christopher Lovejoy, he don't even give a damn about it anyway. That's why I know you were able to see, like, this dude's not feeding into it. He's not showing any signs of.
No, he was actually like, he was confused as to what was happening. So ultimately, the interview happened. It was a great interview, and the two of them took pictures together afterwards. So like I said, this whole narrative that I'm somehow trying to backdoor Crip Mac with his ops is like really just crazy. No. It's really just crazy
you
when I'm seeing it.
A lot of people, bro, got things going on because of other people talking. If they can really just talk and see each other, it's not a problem, right? And like you said, it was more her flipping out than him.
Yeah.
Right? You never forget a person that fed you. You never forget a person that put money in your pocket but you didn't have it. You never forget that. Even if it is some type of issue, right? If you guys haven't got on the phone or seen each other to try to work it out, right? Even when you see him, that's why Crip Mac can act a damn fool if he wants to, right? He don't see that dude as no op. He may say, hey, something happened that I didn't like, but guess what? If they have a conversation, then he'll understand, because Christopher Lovejoy, he's not even the contract.
Okay, bro, but what's going on with this shirt? This whole thing is distracting me, man. It's like, what's going on here? Like, why?
Track holder. That guy's in jail. He was just the foot runner, the guy out here to run around and do everything for him. Crip Mac knows that. He know who he did his deal with. Lupe wasn't in the loop back then, but one thing Vlad, I'm never gonna send anybody here because I know what this is. That's not professional, that comes with any bullshit.
Yeah.
And I know you was able to see that, okay.
Yeah, no, everyone was professional, everything went off cool, but it was just like this thing that dropped in my lap out of nowhere. And then, like I said, there was the chatter afterwards that somehow.
Well, that's because clearly Wack knows who he's dealing with, that these dudes are not really about that life. Nobody's about to do anything. All of this stuff just be content, clearly. Yet, I must say, at the end of the day, this is still sort of the same thing that Adam did when he brought Moose on No Jumper without Wack 100's knowledge. When he had a problem with him, had alerted Adam to the fact that he had a problem with Moose and didn't want a podcast with him, and Adam brought him anyway for content. But this is the same thing, Wack. Crip Mac is there to do an interview and does not know that 600 is about to pull up and they have a beef going, and you send 600 there. As a surprise, a shock to everyone when they see him. So much of a shock that they ran out to their car. Crip Mac and Lupe, like, they held this interview. We don't mess with this dude. They ended up being cool anyway and taking pictures and all that, as Wax said, because it's all kinds of these dudes just be playing.
Well, you can't be backdooring when you're taking pictures with the guy after the fact.
I know, that's what I'm saying, right? Like,
But that, look, man, but I'm gonna tell you this, Vlad, a few of us sat back and scratched our head, but like, what the hell is Vlad up to? Because that's what comes, and Crip Mac
what do you mean, what am I up to?
Yeah, because when you interview Crip Mac, that was different. Because you've been having access to Crip Mac for a couple years now, right? I said, maybe Vlad sees something, maybe he's trying to try something. But it's a different crowd. That's a different interview. Because Crip Mac's a character.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in fact, Mano hit me, said, this is my favorite guest on Vlad TV right now.
He's a character, right? And can't nobody take that from him. I've never met him personally. I remember getting a call from my guy, Big Bruce from Compton. He like, yo, man, I'm sitting here with Crip Mac. I'm like, bro, that's crazy. I'm watching this dude on YouTube. This dude's hilarious. And even though he's changing all the B's to C's, I wasn't offended because the shit was so funny. Like, just his whole everything. That's why when Swamp Stories did they piece on him, showing like how he really grew up and the areas he really grew up, I said, shit, I'll give him more, because I'm looking at it as entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
If he's gang banging, he can't be in front of the camera doing what he's doing. This is entertainment. I wanted to sign Crip Mac not as an artist, as a rapper. I had a deal going. I was gonna let him fight Blueface, but I wanted him as a comedian. I said, bro, I want to work with you as a comedian. I was gonna put him on Wild, and I already had it set up. I had it all set up. I didn't give a shit about his language because the shit was funny. Can you imagine? It's like when Mike Tyson did his thing, that room stayed full. It stayed packed. That's different. You put a writer with him that, a little intro, little outro, and just let him go as him.
Yeah.
That shit's over to the, and I still think he's missing his calling.
Well, yeah, I interviewed Jap 5.
Yeah, but Jack 5 whooped his ass.
Yeah, he actually admitted to it. He said, yeah.
Cuz did win on me with Crip. Like he said, cuz I try to swing 2 wild punches, cuz. Cuz smaller. Like, oh yeah, cuz I got cuz on me with Crip. Cuz did exactly on me. Cuz said everything on me with Crip. On history. When cuz connected with them toe, cuz on me with Crip, it felt like a hammer smashing my head. On me with Crip, I almost thought I went for sleep. I can't expect that, cuz looking at me on hook. Cuz just keep firing, cuz. I fired like cuz on me with Crip. I don't know if you ever been hit that hard, cuz, where you see stars, cuz, like you getting ready to go, wow. I'm like, hold on, cuz, like, no. On me with Crip, cuz, let me up, cuz. I try to get up, cuz, when I'm getting up, cuz, I'm dazed. Cuz, fire on me, just boom. On me with Crip, you ain't no real Hoover killer. On me with Crip, just like that, cuz, on hook. Then the fight was over with, cuz, I'm dazed on me with Crip.
He said that motherfucker knocked me out. That's true. He said.
He probably gonna say.
He said, don't underestimate Jap 5. He's like a little pit bull like that. Like, he'll knock you the fuck out.
Yeah, he always.
And shout out to Jap 5, man. That was a great interview. And I didn't expect those types of numbers. He really has a real fan base. And a lot of people just being out in the grocery store, a lot of people like, yo, man, I love that Jap 5 interview. And seemed like a real level-headed young man.
Yeah, he's
real intelligent, forward-thinking.
He found himself.
Yeah, man, I like him. I'm gonna have him back.
No, he definitely found himself. I met him maybe 2-3 times. We talked over the phone, met him in person, and he's a leader. And he's gonna stand for what he believes. And he knows what he wants. You know what I mean? And he kind of reminds me of me because at a very early age, I caught on that the gang banging shit was some bullshit.
Well, what he said was interesting. He said that when he went to jail, he realized that gangbanging was pointless because all his enemies would click up in prison on racial lines and then get outside and start fighting each other again. And he just said, I don't understand this.
But then when you get to prison, they like too black, too strong. And it's like a throw off. Like, what the fuck? Like, man, I'm out here taking penitentiary chances, like about to get life in jail for my enemies. And then once I get to prison, y'all talk about it's against other colors now. Like, it's us against them. And we're too black, too strong. So it's like more so like it's a confusing thing. So that's where I woke up. That's where I finally opened my eyes. Like I can't die for this shit and I can't do life for this shit because like it's false.
It didn't make no sense.
Didn't make any sense to him.
He grew up where he grew up. He was a product of the environment. But the same shit happened with me. I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, wait, hold on. This is. But then you supposed to get out. But then on the streets we try to kill each other. But then we come in here and we get along. So what happens is all the guys I'm meeting in prison, I'm getting out on the streets. I'm seeing them. I'm supposed to act like they're my enemy. We was just in prison, busting moves in the child hall. You know what I'm saying? So, it didn't make sense. So I was supposed to get out. I was on the streets. I go to jail for trying to harm some people. I go in here. I see the program. You get to know these people. And then I'm supposed to get out and see them and treat them like an enemy? It didn't make sense. This is why I tell the kids. It's like they're lying to you. It's kind of like misery loves company. They're lying to you.
They're lying to you, kids. Okay, let me know what you think in the comments. J-Five is indeed an intelligent individual and forward-thinking and has designs to be successful out here on the street. Let's all wish him well in his endeavors. Seems like a play to me in some sort of way. Excuse me, that 600 Christopher Lovejoy ended up there doing security at Vlad TV on the very day that Crip Mac was there. And these two individuals had a long-standing beef going on the internet. Now, apparently they resolved the issue there at Vlad TV in real time because they ended up taking pictures together, as we just heard. But at first, they had gotten into it. Crip Mac walked out, got in the car. He didn't want to be there with the dude. So you can't say, well, I sent him there because I knew it was going to be nothing. You can't say that if you know the characters involved, I guess, but you just don't know how this thing can end up. It could have went left. Had it been some other individuals involved and this beef was really real. I don't know. Seemed like a lot of setup going on for content. Different, just all around. And I think that everyone has to be careful. Let me know what you think in the comments. Was this a setup and a play? And if so, by whom? When Crip Mac went there to do his interview, thinking he's going to go there and have a peaceful interview with Vlad, and then you look up and here comes your opposition, your enemy walking in the door, the one you've been getting into it with on YouTube, and Instagram, whatever else, making videos about y'all have allegations against one another, attacking one another here on the internet. And you're here on the internet to do an interview, and he comes walking in the door and you knew nothing about it, that this dude was supposed to be there. This dude was coming. Or you may have said, no, I'll do the interview tomorrow. I'll do the interview later on when he's not there. I don't get along with this guy. But you had no idea he was coming. Vlad says he didn't know that these two had a beef. He had never heard of 600 Christopher Lovejoy. So he didn't set anything up. He just asked Whack, he's saying, to send him security, and this is who Whack sent over. Let me know what you think in the comments. Wild work. Stay safe and stay free, people.